Okay, dear students, in the previous lectures we have studied about the metals and non-metals. We did the introduction in the first lecture. In the second lectures we learn about the physical properties of metals. Okay, like sonority, malleability, ductility, these property melting boiling points, we did these all properties regarding the metals. Okay, now if you talk about the physical properties of non-metals. Okay, so there are total 22 non-metallic compounds. First thing. Okay. If we talk about a physical property, let's like about melting boiling point first. They have very low melting boiling point. Low melting boiling point. Why? Because out of these 22, okay, around 7-8 non-metals are already in gaseous condition. One is liquid, that is particularly your bromine, and the rest of are solid. Okay, so it proves that they are existing in gaseous, mean to say the attraction forces are weak. That's why their melting boiling point are very low. Okay, if you talk about the luster, they do not show any kind of luster like metals. Do not show lustrous property. Do not show. Yesterday I told you that there is only one metal which is lustrous, exception that is. Okay, exception is iodine particularly, which is lustrous particularly. Okay. Now if you talk about the state, we have already discussed that what kind of state they are existing. One is liquid, out of them 7-8 are gaseous, rest of are the solids particularly. Okay, conductivity, they are very poor. Conductivity, poor conductor. They do not conduct at all. Exception, if you talk about carbon in form of graphite. Carbon in form of graphite is the only non-metal which is conductor. Otherwise all non-metals are poor conductor, or you can say bad conductor of electricity. Okay. They do not show any such property like malleability, ductility, sonority. These properties are not shown by non-metal particularly. Okay. In case of melting boiling point, you must know there is exception. They have no melting boiling point, but carbon can exist in two forms here, graphite and in form of diamond. Diamond is the having highest melting boiling point, okay, highest you can say boiling point in whole periodic table. This is exception particle. However, all non-metals are low melting boiling points. Okay, all non-metals are poor conductor. Exception, graphite is a conductor. Lustrous, do not show lustrous, no malleability, no ductility, no sonority, such kind of property they are showing particularly. Okay. So these are the physical property we have concluded today about of both metals we have done yesterday, non-metals, these I have to tell in the non-metals property. Okay, the next topic is regarding the chemical properties. Okay, so first we will go with the metals particularly, that what kind of properties chemical particularly are shown by the metals. So I told you that first one we will discuss in this case is reaction with oxides, or what kind of oxides they are forming. Okay, metals, different metals. Okay, let's talk about some reactive metals like potassium, sodium, okay, magnesium or calcium, you can take any one. When you put them in air, they readily catch fire, or you can say they readily combine with oxygen to form their particularly oxides. easily at room temperature, you can say. At room temperature they can form the oxides. Okay, there are some metals but like zinc, okay, aluminium, they form the oxides at a little bit higher temperature. Here, at higher temperature. But copper, if you take, they will form cupric oxides, but at prolonged heating. Prolonged heating means to say copper is forming its oxides after a long time. Okay, and we go on heating at a very high temperature. At that time, copper oxides is formed. So, what this reaction with oxides? Why we are studying? Because these tell about the reactivity of all these metals. That these are more reactive as compared to these one, and these one are the more reactive than these one. Okay, if you talk about almost of these one, potassium is more reactive than sodium because potassium catching forming the oxide more readily as compared to sodium oxides. Okay, then it comes calcium, then it comes zinc, aluminium, then copper is the least reactive elements out of these. Okay, because they have different trend to form their oxides particularly. Now, the nature of these oxides you also have to discuss. That what kind of nature these oxides they have, metals have formed. What are the nature of these oxides particularly? So, metal oxides are basic in nature. You can say metal oxides are basic in nature. For example, like if you take Na2 or calcium oxides and when you put in them in water, oxides particularly we are putting in water, okay, so they are forming their base with evolution of hydrogen gas, okay, hydrogen get released, but they are formed the particularly your basic, or you can say alkalis, okay, soluble one. So, which proves that these metal oxides are basic in nature. But it is not true for all metals. Why? Because zinc oxides and aluminium oxides, these particularly two oxides are termed as amphoteric oxides. Amphoteric oxides. What do we mean by amphoteric oxides? Mean to say these oxides can behave acid as well as base. How? We can take an example of anyone. Let's take example of zinc and we put them in any acids. Okay. So it will forming the reaction zinc chloride and salt. So this is reacting. This substance is reacting with acid, which proves that this oxide is basic. So this reaction tells us that zinc oxide is basic in nature. But if you react zinc oxides with any base like NaOH, we are reacting now. It shows the reaction as well. What is forming? Na2 zinc oxides. Okay, zincate it is called particularly. So here it proves that zinc oxide is nature in acidic. So that's why we are saying zinc oxides as well as aluminum oxides are amphoteric oxides. Okay. However, all other metal oxides behave as basic in nature. Or you can say in general, if someone asks you what is the nature of metal oxides, we will say metal oxides are basic in nature particularly. Okay. Now, second property, chemical property, we will discuss reaction of metals with water. Okay. So metals, the same thing. If you are taking some reactive metal and you are putting them into water, okay, so the reactivity, okay, and they form alkalis particularly, and with the release of hydrogen gas. This reaction is highly exothermic. This reaction is even happening at a room temperature. Room temperature pe or you can say at ordinary temperature, when we put these metals, reactive metals into water, even the heat evolved is so much high that it completely burn the hydrogen produced. Hydrogen produced get burned up. Okay. So which proves that you cannot keep sodium and potassium at room temperature. Okay, in condition, you can say open condition. So that's why you have to put always these metals in kerosene oil at room temperature even. Okay. Now if you talk about the zinc particularly or aluminium, they react with water but not at room temperature. They also form the zinc oxide with revelation of the hydrogen gas, but the reaction is not much exothermic, mean to say hydrogen will not get burned in that case. Okay. The second thing, zinc, when we are reacting with H2O, we needed it in the form of steam, it's at higher temperature. And if you go with the copper, it does not react at all. When you do the prolonged heating, the same thing. Okay, at that time it will react and form a little bit copper oxide with release of hydrogen. So this all things prove that these metals are reactive, more reactive than this one more reactive, this one. So today we will do two chemical properties, particularly that how metals are reacting with water and how particularly your metals and non-metals forming what kind of oxides. Okay, so that's all we do. Now your homework regarding the metals, non-metals, you have to read first thing and you have to sort out 10 questions and their answer as well as in rough notebook. Okay, first thing you will read up to here and then you have to sort out 10 questions yourself and their answer as well in rough notebook. Okay.